Thinkific has a 4.5 out of 5 on G2 and a 2.4 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Same platform, very different experiences. I've used Thinkific myself. I'll tell you what I found in a moment. But first, I want to show you what real users across hundreds of reviews actually say. The good, the bad, and the ones where Thinkific responded publicly. You can judge for yourself. Let's start with the positives, and there are genuine ones. The most consistent praise across G2, Capterra, and even within Trustpilot's positive reviews comes back to 3 things. 1. This reviewer is an instructional designer, someone who evaluates platforms for a living. When they say the user experience is where Thinkific shines, that's not a casual comment. It matches what I found too. The student side is genuinely well thought out. 2. 4,000 students on one account. The fact that none of them are struggling to navigate is the real signal here. At that scale, a confusing interface becomes a support nightmare. It hasn't been. 3. I don't worry about the tech when launching a new cohort. That's the whole value proposition in one sentence. You want a platform that disappears into the background. For delivery, Thinkific does that. Now the other side, and this is where Trustpilot tells a different story. The complaints that come up repeatedly aren't about the software itself. They're about billing, support access, and what happens when something goes wrong. What's notable here isn't just the cancellation problem. She's already tried 3 times. She's tried the chatbot. She can't remove her card. And Thinkific's public reply directed her to contact support, which is exactly what she'd already been doing. That loop is the problem. 2, this is the most common pattern in the negative reviews. They're not saying the platform doesn't work. They're saying the frontline support doesn't work. 6 days locked out of your own site is not a minor inconvenience if you're running a business on it. 3, they've been a customer for years. And when Thinkific introduced the Stripe surcharge, the CEO called it an incentive to switch to their own payment system. This reviewer's point is precise. An incentive is something that benefits you. A fee you didn't agree to is not an incentive. Long-term customers noticed the wording. 4, used it for less than a day. The trial never canceled. Now he's doing a chargeback. Thinkific replied publicly, but their reply is, we can't find your account, email support, which is the same support experience he's trying to escape. That pattern, public complaint, public reply, same loop, comes up across multiple reviews. Here's the thing about reading a few hundred Thinkific reviews. There's a clear split. The negative reviews almost never say the courses didn't work, or that students couldn't access content, or that the platform crashed. What they say is this: I couldn't cancel. I got charged unexpectedly. I couldn't get help fast enough when something went wrong. And separately, some features are locked behind plans that cost significantly more than you started on. The positive reviews say it was easy to build. My students loved it. It did exactly what I needed. Both can be true. The question is, which side matters more for where you are right now? Based on my own experience and what I see across hundreds of reviews, Thinkific is a solid platform for building and delivering courses. If that's all you need, it probably works well. But go in clear-eyed. The basic plan is more limited than the pricing page suggests. The Stripe surcharge catches people off guard, and getting help when something breaks is not their strongest suit. If you're not sure whether Thinkific is even the right platform for your situation, I built a free tool at ddiy.co. Answer 9 questions and get a personalized recommendation in 2 minutes. Link is in the description.